Hi, this is Bill Harrigan, assistant coach to the NRL referees and also video referee. You're watching Unseen TV.
What have you been up to since 2003, since your retirement? Haven't seen much of you.
Well, I haven't been running around on the footy field, but after retirement I went and spent a year with the Roosters as a consultant, and then after that I joined up with the NRL with the referees, and so I'm assistant coach of the National Rugby League referees now.
Fantastic. So what does a day entail for you these days?
Off-season, it's just mainly all about training, putting the lads through their positioning, getting them fatigued and decision-making under fatigue and that sort of things. A lot of drills, just like a football club does, with all their training for their moves and everything. And then in season, it's more about the reviewing of the performance of the referees and touch judges.
How did you get into refereeing?
I'm like probably anybody else. When someone says, do you want to be a referee? Absolutely not. I didn't want to be a ref. At school, in high school, they had this schoolboy recruitment campaign, the Australian Rugby League. So they were asking schoolboys to undergo their referee ticket, to do their ticket. No one volunteered. And then a school teacher just said, righto, Harrigan, Gasnier, Smith and one other fellow, Lees, you 5 blokes are going to do your referee's ticket. We've all said no way, and he just said, if you don't do it, you don't play for the next 5 weeks. I think at the moment we've got the games, we've got the rugby league at probably it's the best it can be. I know from a referee's point of view, when you're out there, now that you've got a second referee, it's like, okay, I've got a mate out here now to help me. And I used the analogy when we first brought it in. I said, if you were walking down a dark lane on your own at night, you're scared. If you're walking down there with a mate, you still might be scared, but not as much. Well, running around on the footy field with a second referee is pretty much like that.
How are you always so sure that your decision is right? I mean, you've got people screaming, you've got, the players arguing with you, getting up in your face, you can pretty much red card them, but sin bin. But, how do you know that you've made the right choice?
I used to say I'm never wrong. But on the field, when you've made that mistake, I've had a couple of players go, Billy, you're kidding. And I'd go, look, it may be wrong, but I've made the decision and we've got to get on with it, and I didn't make it on purpose. And I think that's the big thing, and they know that you never make it on purpose. So then you just move on.
Who's the best player in the game, be it current or ever?
Ever? I think Wally Lewis has got a rate up there as probably the best ever. Andrew John's right up there with him. These days, I can't go players like Greg Inglis, Billy Slater for a workhorse, Cameron Smith. Jared Hayne's new on the scene. Everyone's talking Jared Hayne up. I won't talk him up yet, but he's got the potential. Now,
you're also the CEO of the Oztag, sport, and wouldn't call it a corporation. What do you say to those that say it's a soft option for sport? I mean, I can see it as something great for kids and older players that don't want to bust a hip.
But then you've also got to look at, there are some people who have played, we've got that many first grade players playing Oztag now who are still carrying old injuries. They can't get around the paddock like that. They can't get tackled. Once you start getting our age, you don't want to be getting tackled. And here it is. You say, well, I'm still playing rugby league.
Now, a totally different game that you've been involved in, and many of us have seen you ref on the TV show Gladiators. How'd you get into that one?
That was good. I got a call just out of the blue to say, look, there's Gladiators is coming back. Would I be interested in taking a role as referee? So I went and did the audition, got the job, and then thoroughly enjoyed the 3 months that I spent in the training and then also the taping of the show. It was fantastic.
How about Thunder? He was a little bit intimidating. I don't know if I would have wanted to, disagree with his comments.
Thunder can be intimidating if he gets in the face and he starts putting on the big growl. But once we got out into that green room, he was very meek and mild. He was a lovely bloke. There was a funny story there. He said to me, Billy goes, Bill, when we get out there, we want to do something for the crowd, He said, what can we do? He said, how about after it, I jump down on top of the challenger and give him a bit of a headlock and rough him around a little bit. And you could give me one of those cards. And I said, yeah, we can do that. Now, in training, I had a yellow and red card, but they were just cardboard. Yeah. And so we used them in training. But when we got into shooting the show, the people in props and everything had laminated them. Well, I didn't tell him that they'd been laminated. And he said to me, he goes, Bill, how about you give me that yellow card and I'll grab it off you and I'll chew it and spit it out. And I said, yeah, that'd be great. You do that, and then I'll say, what, you don't like that colour? How about you cop the red, and then I'll send you off out of the game. And he said, yeah, that's great. Let's do that. So we got out there, we did it all. I put the yellow card up, he grabbed it, but I had now the laminated one, and he's gone, and he threw it on the ground. And when we got out, at the end of it, he goes, Bill, what happened? You nearly ripped my teeth out. what did you do with those cards? I said, oh, they laminated them for me, mate. Why didn't you tell me?
Classic.
So there was this big man with the muscles this big, and all of a sudden...
With a big paper cut in his mouth.
With a laminated card.
Well, for you, Bill, what's next? What's the future hold for Bill Harrigan?
I'm happy doing what I'm doing at the moment, so I'll just keep rolling along as coaching the referees, having an input in the rugby league that way. I still video referee, so I enjoy that. So I think just rolling with the punches, doing exactly what I'm doing now, I'm happy with, and just spending time with a young family.
Fantastic. Well, we will watch your career with bated breath. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.